Passion fruit vines are strong climbers that bear colorful, delicious fruits growers can plant and harvest in their own home gardens. What is passion fruit? Passion fruit is the tough-skinned edible fruit that grows from Passiflora vine, which also produces passion flowers. The Passiflora vine is a fruiting and flowering tropical plant that is native to southern Brazil and is now grown in many tropical locations in South America. The Passiflora plant thrives in warm climates, and the best time to plant it is in the spring after the first frost has passed. There are two main Passiflora cultivars that bear two kinds of passion fruit. Passiflora edulis produces the deep purple passion fruit with prune-like rind and a seed-filled golden center, while Passiflora flavicarpa produces a yellow passion fruit that is typically larger than the purple variety. How to plant passion fruit. Passion fruit can be grown either from the seeds inside of ripe passion fruit or from a seedling purchased at a gardening store or nursery. You can also propagate new passion fruit plants from cuttings. When to plant passion fruit. The growing season for passion fruit begins in the early spring, just after the last frost has passed. Passiflora is a tropical plant native to hot and humid climates that will continue to bear fruit year-round if you live in a climate that is always warm. If you live in a climate where winter temperatures drop below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, winterize your plant for the colder months by spreading a couple of inches of compost over it. How to grow passion fruit from a seed. You can use the seeds from a store-bought passion fruit to germinate and plant your own passion fruit vine. Here is how to sow passion fruit from a seed. Choose your seeds. Choose a ripe passion fruit with a slightly crinkled rind from the grocery store, halve it, and extract its seeds. The riper your passion fruit, the more likely the seeds are to germinate. Wash any fruit pulp from your seed and dry them with a paper towel. Prepare your seeds. To improve the chances that your seeds will sprout, rub them between a sheet of sandpaper and soak overnight for 12 hours. If you're not planting your seeds immediately, store them in a sealed envelope or airtight container. Germinate your seeds. To start the germination process, bury your seed in a container filled with a small amount of soil or seed-raising mix about an inch deep. Salve your seed just below the surface and water it to keep the soil moist. Use seaweed solution so your seeds sprout more quickly. Water your seeds. Water your seed regularly to keep the soil moist, but do not saturate it. Keep your container in a warm place to facilitate moisture. Wait until the seed sprouts. Regularly water your seed until it sprouts. Some seeds germinate within 2 to 3 weeks and some as long as 4. Other seeds will take up to 4 months to sprout, so be patient. Repot your seedling. When your seedling is roughly 4 inches high, repot your plant in a larger pot, around 6 to 8 inches in diameter. Gently dig the seedling free, taking care to protect the root system, and place in a fresh potting mix in a larger pot, watering immediately. Provide your plant with a climbing support so its vines can begin to grow. After roughly 6 weeks, your passion fruit plant should have a good central vine, about 8 inches in height, and will be ready to plant in the garden against a trellis. Prepare your soil. Choose a place in your garden that gets plenty of sun to plant your sprouted seedling. Enrich your soil by combining it with fertilizer or mulch, and test the pH to make sure that it is between 6.5 and 7.5. You can measure pH by our pH meter, which you can easily purchase from the link in description. Loosen the soil to make sure that it is draining properly. Plant your vine. Dig a large hole in your garden that is roughly twice the size of the plant's root ball. Remove the vine from its original container, taking care to protect the root system. Bury the roots with fresh potting mix and fertilizer and water immediately. If you're planting multiple plants, give them at least 10 to 12 feet of space between each plant. Care for your plant. Your passion fruit plant can take 18 months to 2 years to fruit and flower, and your plant will require regular maintenance. Water your plant regularly, taking care to keep the soil loose and well-draining to prevent root rot. Prune any tendrils that are wilting. To winterize your plant, if you live in a cold winter climate, spread a layer of compost 2 inches thick over your plant's root system to protect it from the cold during the winter months. Harvest your fruit. Once your passion fruit vine begins to flower and fruit, leave the fruit to fully ripen so that the color becomes vibrant and the rind starts to wrinkle. At that point, you can either pick the fruit or let it fall to the ground. It is now ready to eat. Choosing the right passion fruit plant. Yellow passion fruit is sweet, acidic, and tropical with mild floral notes. Purple passion fruit has a flavor and aroma richer than yellow passion fruit. It is also less acidic. The flavor of both is reminiscent of guava. Best climate and site to grow passion fruit. Passion fruit is a tropical and subtropical plant. It is native to South America. Passion fruit vine grows best in frost-free regions. There are a few cultivars that can survive temperatures in the upper 20s. Vines may lose some of their leaves in cool winters. The roots will resprout even if the foliage is killed. Plant passion fruit in full sun, except in areas where summers are very hot. In very hot regions, plant passion fruit in partial shade. Passion fruit is a vining plant that grows rapidly. Plant passion fruit where it can climb a trellis or chain link fence. Passion fruits have tendrils and are natural climbers. Passion fruit does not grow well where there is a high salt content in the soil. Avoid planting passion fruit where the soil is constantly wet. Also, avoid planting passion fruit in spots where it can be damaged by wind. Tips for caring for passion fruit. Here is an overview of how to care for your passion fruit vine. Plant your passion fruit in moist, well-draining soil. Passiflora thrives in moist, fertile, well-draining soil between a pH of 6.5 and 7.5. Fertilize your soil with mulch or organic matter compost if your soil appears too sandy or dry. Water your passion fruit generously without drowning it. Passion fruit plants need plenty of water, but you want to make sure that your soil drains well to prevent wilt. Give your plant plenty of sun. Passion fruit plants thrive in full sun and in environments with 60 to 80% humidity. Prune the wilting vines. Passion fruit vines will bear more fruit if the vines are regularly pruned. Prune the vines that have wilting leaves. Protect your plant from pests and disease. Use a mesh covering or liquid fence to protect your plant from aphids, snails, nematodes, or Gulf fritillary butterflies, all of which are common North American pests. Treat your plants with fungicide in early spring to prevent fungal diseases such as fusarium wilt or crown rot. Propagate your plant with cuttings. You can use a cutting of new growth from your passion fruit plant or fresh seeds from one of your passion fruits to propagate a new plant. If using a cutting, trim the lower leaves, plant in a small pot, and place in a warm place for up to 90 days, keeping the soil moist. Fertilize depleted soil. If your soil is looking dry or unhealthy, add some fertilizer to encourage growth. Keep in mind that nitrogen-rich fertilizers will produce large passion fruit flowers but stunt fruit production. Choose a fertilizer with plenty of potassium, adding it to your plant in the spring and summer. How to harvest passion fruit. Passion fruit typically takes 12 to 18 months to bear fruit. So if you plant your seed or seedling in early spring, it should be ready to harvest by early summer or fall of the following year. If you live in a tropical climate, the plants will flower and fruit year-round. Once your passion fruits are brightly colored and the rind is slightly wrinkled, they are ripe and ready to eat. Simply pluck them from the vine, or they will fall to the ground. After harvesting, your passion fruit is ready to be in your plate. Make some delicious munches and cocktails to serve at the table. This was all for your passion fruit. See you in the next video. Stay tuned. We will recommend you to watch our another video on growing hydroponic garden. Hope so you enjoyed this easy and hands-on method for growing your passion fruits at home. Don't forget to like and subscribe.